On April 6, 2026, the Chicago Sky made a significant move, trading Angel Reese to the Atlanta Dream in exchange for first-round draft picks in 2027 and 2028, along with a second-round pick in 2028. From a career standpoint, this could actually work in Angel Reese's favor. Atlanta is a bigger market with more visibility, and the opportunity to rebuild her brand in a new city is real. Chicago simply wasn't the environment where she was thriving, so a fresh start makes sense on paper. But the trade has reignited an ongoing conversation around Angel Reese that has followed her throughout her young career. There are people, and there are quite a few of them, who question just how serious she is about basketball as her primary focus. The criticism usually points to her highly visible presence on social media, her fashion choices, and the way she markets herself off the court. Some feel that her priorities appear to be more aligned with building a personal brand and entertainment career than with developing as a professional athlete. Now, whether that criticism is fair is a separate conversation entirely, but it's one that clearly isn't going away, especially with a move this significant putting her back in the spotlight.
I mean, Angel Reese's body count is over 80 at the age of 23. Over 80, and her justification was, oh yeah, but my teammates had like 300, huh?
Now, to be clear, I don't think those kinds of rumors hold any real weight. Angel Reese has never publicly spoken about her personal life in that way, and there's no basis for those kinds of claims. What seems to be happening is that because some people perceive her style and image as provocative, others take that perception and run with it in completely irresponsible directions. That's not commentary, that's just people projecting, and it says a lot more about them than it does about her. That said, the one person who seems to bring up Angel Reese in a negative light more consistently than anyone else, and we're talking about this coming up every few months without fail, is Charleston White. It doesn't matter what the conversation is or who he's talking to. If Angel Reese's name comes up, you already know what direction he's going to take it. And now there's a new layer to this discussion, because the question being raised isn't just about her image anymore. People are now asking about reports suggesting Angel Reese may be sitting out for the remainder of the season in a push to secure better pay. So what do you all think about that?
Because she wants to get paid more. I think she should stay up.
Angel Reese just made the cover of Vogue magazine, and a lot of people are saying that, and she's covered up, she's not naked, and a lot of people are saying you owe her an apology, because,
You saw how that dressed on me, I don't know shit. Man, that's a gotta apologize to no.
Now, there are people who actually defend Charleston White's approach, and hear me out before you dismiss that entirely. His supporters argue that beneath the harsh and often offensive delivery, there's some form of tough love at the core of what he's saying. The idea being that he's holding her to a standard he feels she should be meeting as a public figure and professional athlete. Whether you agree with that framing or not, the situation has apparently escalated beyond just words. Charleston White himself posted about it, so this isn't speculation. His Twitter indicated that Angel Reese's team threatened legal action against him following his comments about her. That's a significant development, and it tells you that, at least on her end, what he's been saying has crossed a line that they feel warrants a real response. White's own characterization of the situation was typically unfiltered, and I'll let you hear a bit of that directly.
I would just start saying, the way she dressed, she don't want to play basketball. She got that spirit. Is she a basketball player? Don't know about this. Don't no woman play basketball. Them boys like don't no real woman shoot. They learn economics. All the lesbian women like a play. Yeah, so she been sells to get your OnlyFans. She'll make way more money OnlyFans than trying to shoot a jump.
Now, the clip itself is from an earlier point in time, but the legal threat from Angel Reese's team appears to be a recent development. So while the footage isn't new, the stakes around this situation very much are. And interestingly enough, there are people out there who genuinely believe that Charleston White's relentless commentary, as rough and unfiltered as it is, may actually be having some kind of positive influence on Angel Reese. The argument being that the public pressure and criticism, however harshly delivered, could be pushing her to take her basketball career more seriously and be more intentional about the image she's putting out. Whether that's actually the case or just wishful thinking is hard to say, but it's a perspective that keeps coming up.
Fully clothed like a woman should be. Look at her, she don't got none of those pictures no more where she's showing off her breast and her behind. She took it personally. She needed it. Look at the difference in the way she's dressing now. You can still be beautiful without having your clothes off. And this is what Angel Reese is now showing y'all.
Now, this is a part of the conversation I think really needs to be addressed properly, because it goes deeper than just Angel Reese or Charleston White. As someone who has been around the Black manosphere since around 2015, I watched that whole space develop firsthand. Kevin Samuels was rising, Obsidian was in the mix, and a whole wave of Black men were stepping up to voice their perspectives online. At its core, a lot of that energy came from a genuine place, brothers trying to have honest conversations about relationships and community standards. But here's where I have to push back on something specific. There's a narrative circulating right now that suggests Charleston White's criticism of Angel Reese is somehow working, that because of pressure from Black male voices, she's being influenced to change her behavior. And some brothers genuinely believe that public shaming is a tool that produces real results in the Black community. I have to be straight with you. That's not really how it works. Black women, like most people, are not waking up in the morning and checking social media commentary to decide how to dress or carry themselves. And I already know what some brothers are going to say. Well, that's exactly why they're single. That's why nobody wants them. I hear that argument, but just hear me out before you get there. If you want any woman, Black, white, or otherwise, to genuinely respect your voice and value your opinion, criticism alone is never going to get you there. What actually creates that dynamic is opportunity. Women, and really people in general, respond to those who are actively creating something, building something that benefits the people around them. That's just human nature. When you look at other communities where women tend to align more closely with the men in their circle, it's rarely because those men talked louder or shamed harder. It's because those men built something. They provided a framework, economic, cultural, social, that made alignment feel worthwhile. And I say this with full acknowledgement that not every Black woman respects a provider either. That's a real conversation. But one of the core criticisms that came out of the manosphere was that Black women don't follow leadership. The follow-up question that didn't always get answered was, what exactly are they being asked to follow? Leadership without infrastructure is just noise. There are plenty of good brothers out there handling their business, raising their kids, building their lives, and I'm absolutely not talking about them. But there are also a significant number of men spending enormous amounts of energy trying to shame women into compliance while offering very little in return. And that energy is genuinely wasted. Here's what I know to be true. When Black men lock in, work together, and build real opportunities within their communities, women naturally gravitate toward that. It happens consistently. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to shame anyone into it. The attraction follows the foundation. Look at the women in the Nation of Islam as an example. These are women who carry themselves with discipline and dignity consistently, and many of them didn't come from structured backgrounds. But the men in that community built an ecosystem. They weren't all wealthy, but they were intentional. They created something worth being part of, and that's why the dynamic looks the way it does. Now, apply that to Angel Reese. She earns her own income. She operates completely outside of any community structure that's criticizing her. She doesn't need anything from the men calling her out online, and because of that, the criticism simply doesn't land. It was never going to land. Not because she's beyond accountability, but because accountability only carries weight when it comes with something behind it. Brothers have to understand that. The complaints will never be taken seriously until Black men are building the kind of collective power and opportunity that makes their voice carry real weight. When you become the provider of opportunity, when you become the ecosystem, you become the prize, and you won't need to say a word. Your actions will do all the talking.